Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is the 18th of April, and NBA playoffs are here. Game number ones are here and ready for today, man. We're going to jump into it. One thing I wanted to do really quickly. Okay. Just want to check something real quick. Yeah, I want to check some things real quick. All right. So, yesterday, did I do a show yesterday? I did do a show yesterday. I think I did a show yesterday. Charlotte wet the bed, absolute bedwetting spot for Charlotte yesterday. I think I saw something that said it was their most turnovers, least made threes, some crazy stat where they kind of had their worst performance of the season, worst performance in history, I think, in regular season, postseason, play-in, like it was kind of bad. So Charlotte was a loser yesterday. Was on the wrong side of that, but we did talk about Phoenix, and first half ended up cashing, got a little sweaty. Jalen Green hit the three to kind of seal it, to put them up by 5 at halftime, and Phoenix was able to win the game. So I think that the plays that I had on the short list yesterday were 3 and 1, because we talked about LaMelo under his assists as well, under 7.5. He finished with 5, didn't even play in the fourth quarter, of course, because of the blowout. And then Phoenix first half and Phoenix full game were both winners yesterday. So I'm hopeful that you guys made some money yesterday. But let's jump into it for today. Jay says, thought it was going to be earlier, Chris. Nonetheless, I'm ready to take notes. Yeah, let's do it, man. I actually, it was supposed to be earlier. I planned to do this show a lot earlier. My son had soccer. Of course, I can't miss soccer. So wasn't able to do it as early as I thought I would this morning. But it's all good, man. We're here now. We got some time. Even people that's going to come back and watch the show, they got time before the games actually start. We got about 35, 40 minutes before this first one tips off. So we're going to get going. They absolutely got taken behind the woodshed yesterday. They were not ready for the moment. I tweeted it as well. What's up, for real? Appreciate you for tapping in. Double says, damn it, I caught it live. What's up, big bro? Hope all is well with you, bro. Hope all is well with you for sure. Let's jump into it. So we'll start off with Jackson, AI Sports Betting Tool, linked in the description of the video. I asked Jackson for... I actually wanted to give you guys 2 looks today. I was just kind of interested what Jackson thought about this. So I'll give you guys the prompt, and then I'll tell you guys what Jackson likes for today. So the prompt is if I can find it. We know why it's so hard to find my prompts. All right, here we go. I want to give you guys another one too, though. So all right, so I asked Jackson for see if I can find it again. All right, so I asked Jackson for I asked Jackson, based on full game advanced stats per Clean the Glass, situational spots, injury reports, and trends, what are the top two totals that have the most value in the NBA market for today? Just a kind of a late read, right? The first one Jackson likes is the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks under the 219.5. It says here that the analytical edge breakdown. So the edge lies in the clash of styles and the devastating injury report for the Atlanta Hawks. While Atlanta typically pushes the tempo, 5th in pace, they're facing the New York squad that excels at grinding the game to a halt, ranking 25th in pace. The Knicks feature a top 7 defensive unit and are elite at forcing opponents into half-court execution, where they rank 7th in points allowed per 100 plays as well. So it talks about the Knicks being a really good defensive unit that's built on limiting second chance points, ranks 4th in defensive rebound percentage. Atlanta relies heavily on transition efficiency, ranking 2nd in the NBA, but against a disciplined Knicks unit that ranks 11th in turnover percentage, those easy buckets will be scarce. In a high stakes environment where the league's 25th ranked pace team dictates the tempo against a shorthanded visitor, the 219.5 total is overwhelmingly the scoring ceiling. So overvaluing the scoring ceiling. I'm sorry, I can't read this morning. Overvaluing the scoring ceiling. So Jackson likes the under in that first one. And then I asked the same prompt. I took the same prompt and I asked Jackson for the best spread that has the most value. And Jackson actually likes the Houston Rockets minus the 4.5. It says this is a classical case of the market failing to adjust for the absence of teams' primary engines. The Houston Rockets are statistically one of the most balanced teams in the league, ranking 6th in net rating, 5th in defensive rating. Their greatest strength is their ability to dominate the glass, where they rank number 1 in the NBA in offensive rebound percentage. This creates a massive mismatch against the Lakers team that ranks 24th in offensive rebound percentage and 20th in defensive efficiency. The Lakers' outlook for the series is a dire due to the confirmed absence of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Doncic is the focal point for the Lakers' 10th ranked offense. Without his 30-plus points per game in elite playmaking, Los Angeles lacks the offensive creation to break down Houston's top 5 defense. While LeBron James remains a threat, he's no longer capable of willing his team to victory single-handedly, quote, against the Rockets unit that features an elite perimeter defenders. The Rockets system remains stout. So Houston successfully integrated Kevin Durant into the hard-nosed defensive scheme that excels at securing the glass. Blah, 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 blah. Jackson likes the Rockets minus the 4.5 in that first game for today, and it looks like that bet available on Poly Market right now. So those are the 2 looks for Jackson. Let's jump into it, man. So first game we got up is the the Toronto Raptors. They'll be in Cleveland today taking on the Raptors. This line is it looked like it's still moving. The line actually opened. Let me get to my notes. The line actually opened with Toronto getting 7 points, and then it's all the way up to 8.5. It was at 8 earlier, and Emmanuel quickly being ruled out. He was listed as questionable. Is humongous in this game. Thomas Bryant is also out. I got a lot of notes on this game. I'll tell you, I'm not going to read through everything, but I will say that Toronto did in the season. They were playing the better basketball of the 2. They were 7th in adjusted rating, 5th in defensive rating, and they played against the strongest strength of schedule as well. They were, however, 0-3 against the spread, both first half and full game, when they were road dogs in their last 10 games. And you look at this Cavaliers team, kind of pathetic, actually. They did finish the season 6-4 straight up, only 4-6 against the number. I kind of feel like they have more to prove to the world and to themselves than really any other team in the playoffs, actually. I'm not really fond of this Cavaliers team, but I do think that they have a lot to play for in this spot. And, especially with them losing all 3 games in the regular season, right? Toronto beat them all 3 times. They covered all 3 spreads. The first 2, they were dogs. The last one, they were laying 1.5 at home. And important to note that James Harden wasn't a part of any of those games. So I think I agree with the money coming in on Cleveland in this spot. It's a big number to lay, with Cleveland being one of the worst home favorites. I think they've been probably the worst ATS team in the league overall. But I do think that, without quickly, that's a big deal. And I feel like the Cavs, it's a statement game for them in this one. So I think that the Cavs are the right side. I also think, as far as the total goes, and this is where I kind of lean a little bit more, I don't agree with the number going up. It opened as low as 217.5, and it went all the way up to 220.5. It looks like some 220.5s are still available, but they're starting to pop back down now. It looks like some 220s, 219.5s are popping back up. I actually like the total. I think the Raptors are going to really struggle to score the basketball in this matchup. And then I learned this from my guy RC about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. 4-5 matchups. This is the 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference, of course. They're always pretty competitive for the most part, and they typically, because they're evenly matched teams, they typically tend to be more under games. Game 1s of 4-5 matchups, totals are 11-3 to the under in the last 8 years. And then that's 8-1 to the under in the last 9 occasions as well. I think Toronto's going to struggle to score. If anything, they should be able to play a little bit of defense in this spot. 8 of the 9 last game 1s that have started before 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time have actually stayed under the number as well. That was one of the things I wanted to look at as far as like the matinee spot. So I haven't bet it yet, but I didn't think the number. I was going to see if it continued to go up, honestly. But I like the game under, and I do think the Cavs are the right side. I think they could blow this Raptors team out in the first game, but we'll see. I don't feel as confident with that one. But historically, these teams that are laying these big numbers in game 1s are typically teams you want to bet on. I feel like they got all the motivation and incentive in this spot as well. And I think quickly is going to be missed. The last thing I'll mention real quick, Toronto finished the season just 1-4, both straight up and against the spread when they were road dogs without quickly. They only averaged 104 points in those spots, and they were 4-1 to the under as well. So I think we see Cleveland best, defensive effort in this game. I would look, towards the Cleveland side of things, and I would look towards the under if I'm betting this game. Let's go back to the top real quick, see what you guys are thinking, and then we'll keep it pushing to the next one. Let's see. We talked about that, Robert. If you got a chance to tune in, I was on the wrong side of one of those, but I said that the Warriors would be super public yesterday as well, and they got smoked last night. No such thing as a lock, Will. This is the wrong channel. No such thing as a lock unless we're talking about doors. What's up, Dion? Appreciate you for tapping in. Dion says he likes Johnson under his 7.5 assists. Jalen Johnson maybe in that next game, in the Atlanta game. Playoff basketball is here. Derek says, appreciate your work, Chris. Glad I caught alive. Let's have a ChrisBeCappinn Day community. Absolutely. Let's get it. Let's have a day. For real, says Cavs first half spread. I think they come locked in, man. Lock says I can't lay 8.5 with the Cavs against nobody ever. And I agree. Like, they have not been good covering this point spreads. But the number's going up, and it's going up for a reason. Just to give you guys some numbers real quick. Home favorites in game ones of the first round specifically that are laying more than 7 points, they cover 55% of the time. And those games typically go under. They go under about 55% of the time as well. And I think if we were to look post-COVID, 8-4 against the numbers. So they covered 67% of the time, 9-3 to the under. So it tells me Toronto team total under, Cavs cover the spread, and they do it with the defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 straight teams have been held under their team total that are the road dog in this spot, and 6 of the last 7 as well. So Toronto struggling to score wouldn't surprise me at all. Glam says she's going opposite. What's up, Algina? Says let's get paid. NBA playoffs are here. I like under, and I like Cavs if I'm betting this one. Maybe even Cavs early as well. All right, next one up is the. Oh, I didn't change the text here. My fault there. Because this is definitely not the Raptors and the Nuggets. This is the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. And this line, I think it was at 7 last time I checked. Let me just double check it. Yeah, 7 is consensus. Total gone up though, up to 232, which is interesting because Anthony Edwards is listed as questionable. I want to go back real quick and just look at where it is opened at. If you go to OddsJam, they have a little tag on the side, top right corner that says show opening price. And if you click that, you can see what each book opened the game. So like DraftKings opened this at 5.5. FanDuel opened it at 6, and then BetMGM opened this at 6.5. So a lot of different openers. Total, it looks like open about 230.5. I see a 231.5 on DraftKings as well. So money's come in on the over. Money's can come in on Denver. And I mean, Denver has been. You really need to know what's going to happen with Anthony Edwards. Of course, he's listed as questionable. The way I kind of think about it is Anthony Edwards, had all that time to rest, and he's still not 100%. I think Denver can clean up the Minnesota Timberwolves. I kind of feel like some of these teams that didn't play well in the postseason, didn't play well in the regular season, are going to kind of get things in gear, in my opinion. You need to know if Anthony Edwards is going to play, though. Minnesota actually, they went, I think it was 3-1. I'm sorry, Denver actually went 3-1, both straight up and against the number against this Minnesota team earlier this season. Minnesota, I looked at them as road dogs in the division this season, and they struggled. Of course, 2 of those games was against OKC. The other one was against Denver. They finished 3-0 to the under in all 3 of those games. They lost by they stayed under by an average of 11 points, and that included, of course, the game in Denver as well. I also looked at, just from a situational spot, home favorites in game ones versus divisions, and they do versus divisional opponents. They typically do well, 24-16 against the number. Going back to 2019, that's good for 60%. 59% to the under as well. So I don't know, man. This total is high, like 230, 232. I feel like is a lot, but maybe people know that Anthony Edwards is going to play. I think if Anthony Edwards doesn't play, Minnesota could really, really struggle to score the basketball. Denver, has innate ability to be able to kind of turn it on, when they're at home and with Aaron Gordon in the lineup. So, and they'll play. I think they'll want to play some defense in this game as well. I think the pace will be slowed down. Minnesota finished the season like really struggling to score the basketball. They were one of the worst offensive rated teams, and Denver, in altitude, I don't think it's necessarily going to be the easiest place to play. Real quick, just to give you guys some numbers, it looks like the Timberwolves' last 10 games of the season, they were 20th in adjusted offensive rating, 20th second in offensive rating in general. They're going to have their hands full trying to slow down Jokic, of course, in this game. So let's see real quick. Jokic against Rudy Gobert is typically, dog food. He dropped 35 on him earlier. He had a 56-point game against them as well. And those were the 2 times that he played him this year. So I look towards Jokic's points. That's typically just how they play him. Don't let him really get too many assists. Rebounds should probably be there as well, but 13.5 is kind of steep. Yeah, I think you got to wait for the Anthony Edwards news, but we'll see what happens. I kind of think this game, I think it's an under game as well. That's my thought process. What up, Helms? Appreciate you for tapping in. Double says Jared Allen rebounds over a good look. I didn't look into Jared Allen, if I'm being completely honest. I was actually looking into Scotty Barnes rebounds. I didn't bet it. But Scotty Barnes rebounds are listed at 6.5. And was that? I thought it was at 7.5. Scotty Barnes did a hell of a job rebounding basketball all season. He had a double-digit rebounds in every single game against this Cleveland team. If he doesn't hit it this game, maybe they drop it a little bit lower, and I'll take it next game. When he go back to Cleveland, when he go back to Toronto, I'll definitely be looking at Scotty Barnes over his boards. Double-digit rebounds in every single game against the this Cleveland Cavalier team. I was looking at that earlier. John says unders before 4 p.m. in the playoffs, 126 and 85, 60% on Saturdays, 69%. I like it, John. I like it. Appreciate you for sharing that. But yeah, I told you guys in that first game, I'm looking at under and nothing at all. Glamour says Denver money line in the over. Okay. What up, J-Man? Locke says Ant and Jokic always put on a show when they play each other, and that's a fact. They typically do. Denver does a really good job of taking the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands, I feel like, as well, though. I feel like that's what we've seen. If we go look at it real quick, let's put some facts to it. So we look at Anthony Edwards' points. This season when they played, he had a 26-point game and a 21-point game. He did go off for a 44-point game, but 8 for 23 shooting and 9 for 19 shooting. So they didn't allow him to shoot the basketball a lot at all. He did have a 14 for 25 game as well, but I feel like they take the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hand. His rebounds and assists, I feel like, is something that's been cashing. Yeah, 9.5 is the number. He's finished right at 9 twice, and 14 in the first game that they played this year as well. So I think they're going to make him more facilitator as much as they possibly can. Probably put Aaron Gordon on him, have some Christian Brown on him as well. Probably try to crowd him and make some of the other guys make some shots. I feel like that's what I feel like that's what they've been doing since Adelman took over as coach. For real, so this is a revenge series for Denver and not 100% Denver first half spread. Yeah, I'm not looking. I think Minnesota. I was reading some stuff that talked about Anthony Edwards kind of like having one of those big injuries. I think Denver is going to win this series. I don't think it'll be as hard as most people probably think it will be either. Leaning Nuggets, hard to trust them at home for sure, Robert. But maybe Nuggets first half full game, like on a little, like one of those little. Matter of fact, let's go to FanDuel real quick and see what you can get that for. One of those first half full game spreads. But again, you still need to know if Anthony Edwards is going to play. I just kind of feel like Ant has not been his regular self, missing all that time. Let's see. It shouldn't be priced. Shouldn't be overly priced. Let's see real quick. See if I can find it. If y'all can find it before me, y'all let me know what it is. First half full game parlay is you just need the team to be winning. You get Denver minus 140 right now. I think that's, if you don't want to lay the number, I think that's a way to play the game. I do think that they win the first half. We know Denver's been really good in the first half and actually been kind of terrible against sucky teams. But against good teams, I feel like they play good in the first half. The last good game, last team I think they played at home that was competitive with San Antonio a couple weeks ago, and we talked about liking them in that spot, and they ended up winning the game outright in overtime. But yeah, Denver first half full game, but you need to know the status of Anthony Edwards in my personal opinion. All right, so that's that one. And then I do ask you guys hit the like button for me real quick. I'm gonna take a hydration break, and then we'll get through the next two games. All right, let's get to it. Next two games, we have chair came down. We got the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks. Game, of course, we played in New York. This is one where, I didn't really take too much time to dig into this too much. I'll start with the injury report. So we got this series just don't really interest me that much. I kind of feel like the Knicks are being a tad bit undervalued. I know the Hawks were a really, really good team, playing some really, really good basketball. I just kind of feel like we see these home teams really kind of assert themselves early in games. So this line was actually at 6. It's come down to 5. The total has gone up. It was 216.5, I think, was the opener. and it looks like now it's up to it's 215.5 at open on FanDuel, and it's all the way up to 218.5. I think I kind of agree with the move there. You got a clean injury report for the Knicks. They won't have anybody on the injury report. These two teams did match up. How many times was it? 3 times earlier this season. Excuse me. The Knicks won the first game 2 days before Christmas in Atlanta. They were laying 5.5, only won the game by 3. The next one was 5 days later. The Knicks lost that game outright. They were at home, laying 4.5, lost the game by 12. And then they took care of business back on April the 6th when these two teams just played 108 to 105. But they were getting a 1.5 and won that game outright. I remember thinking the Knicks were in a I liked Atlanta a little bit in that game. I don't think I actually bet it though. And the totals have actually been really low, 210 and 213 in those last 2 games. So the way I kind of think about this game, man, I watched a really, in my opinion, a really imperative game for the Atlanta Hawks against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that game kind of told me everything I thought I needed to know. It's really going to be about the 3-point line, and it's going to be about rebounding in this series, in my opinion. Atlanta's a team that loves to shoot a ton of threes. Matter of fact, if I, give you guys some numbers, because I don't like to just feel like I'm telling you guys stuff and can't back it up with the facts. But if you look at the last 10 games, Atlanta is number 8 in above the break 3-point attempts. They are 3rd in above the break 3-point makes. It's all going to be about if the Knicks are going to be able to defend the 3-point line. I do think that the Knicks are on the opposite side. Like if Atlanta gets hot from the 3-point line, that's definitely going to help the total. We know that they want to get out, push tempo, play super fast. They are 14th in pace over the last 10 games, much better than that, much faster than that over the full season, of course. And the Knicks are the slowest paced team in the NBA. Over the last 10 games, I think bottom 3 over the full season as well. So pace is going to be, important in the series. On the Knicks side of things, though, and this is what I didn't like about the series the back-to-back that they were playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The pace, the Knicks, the Cavs actually dominated Atlanta on the glass. Like Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns are going to have a field day in this game. I'm not sure which one of them to bet on. I do feel like the numbers are like probably a tad bit inflated, but Mitchell Robinson's rebounds like 8.5. I think he can get a double-double. Even with the points as well. Like I think Mitchell Robinson is in a prime time spot here just because Onyeka Okongwu, I tweeted it a couple weeks ago. He's not it for me. Like that's not going to be able to be enough. And now Jock Landale's out. He's going to be reevaluated in a couple weeks. I think like 2 weeks. I think that's the clear advantage in this spot. They're going to struggle, in my opinion, as well with Brunson. I just feel like the Knicks are walking into a really, really good matchup. I haven't even looked at the series price for this, but I do think the Knicks are going to get Atlanta out of here pretty quickly, in my opinion. I'm not saying Atlanta is going to get swept, but I do think the Knicks are going to get the job done pretty quickly. 5.5 is probably where I would put the line. I think that they could win the game by 6. I think they could win it by 4. So not too much on the total, not too much on the side. As far as the total goes, it's always difficult, in my personal opinion, when you get a super fast team and a super slow team. Typically, the home team dictates pace. But if the Knicks get, if they get hot, and, Atlanta's defense is not playing well, then the Knicks can also score the basketball. So I guess I say all that. This is the one total where I kind of do agree with the movement coming in on the over. Looks like you can still get 217.5. I guess I lean that way. Hawks and Knicks over 217.5 on FanDuel, still currently available. Not the strongest opinion on sides. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Yeah, that's a fact. Let's do it. Hawks plus 6.5. Okay. Burrell says Knicks series so unpredictable. Don't trust either team to close down the stretch. I think the Knicks got the better closers. I think they got the better rebounders. I think when they're pushed to their brink, the Knicks are a lot better than the Hawks. That's my personal opinion, of course. I think the Knicks. I think we see a really good effort from the Knicks. We'll see how it goes. F Young says he'll go Atlanta plus 2.5. Think the series is a little bit longer. Okay. What up, Malik? Hope all is well with you out in Chi-Town, my brother. Appreciate you for tapping in as always, bro. Hope all is good, man. Velocity says Knicks home ATS, too good to be worried about the Hawks. I kind of agree, Velocity. I kind of agree. I think there's a couple, just the way I kind of think about basketball, I don't think that this series is going to go as long as people think. Knicks have already proven they've owned Atlanta for a while now, and the rebounding advantage is going to be huge in this game. Okongwu is he's going to Okongwu is like probably OG Anunoby size. Like, I mean, they're gonna really struggle in my opinion, but we'll see. We shall see, man. Nick says I'm gonna go back and listen, but I like Toronto versus Cavs. Okay. What up, S Dot? My guy says, "What's up, Chris? Long time catching the live." Says like Toronto to win the series. I'm saying, oh, okay, to win the series. I don't know about that. Dom says he likes, especially without Quickly. Quickly is ruled out. Dom says he likes Knicks first half. Knicks first half. ATS at home has been a machine this season. I do think these home teams come out and throw the first punch in a lot of these games for sure. Cat rebounds, Mitchell Robinson rebounds. I don't even know who to pick if I'm being completely honest, though. I will say this, though. So I'm guessing they'll probably cross match, right? Like you probably put Mitchell Robinson on Dyson Daniels, maybe? Because I feel like Cat's going to guard Onyeka Okongwu. You don't want Cat guarding. You don't want Mitchell Robinson guarding Okongwu because Okongwu going to shoot a bunch of threes. So you got to figure out who's going to get pulled away from the rim. And I hadn't really, like I said, this is the series that really, I'm not that interested in this series, honestly. But I do think it's going to be a little bit easier than people think. I think Atlanta could have a stretch where they kind of look like Charlotte yesterday. Like that's the way I kind of think about it. I don't think that these teams are in the same tier. This is the 3-6 matchup, but I think the Knicks are clear-cut favorites in this. I could be wrong. We shall see. What up, Markel? Says, glad I caught you live, bro. I didn't get a notification. I'm not sure why. Brian says, good morning, Chris. Nice to see you in New York at home. I think they get it done. Moneyline parlay favorites today. Yeah, moneyline parlay and favorites I think will work in most instances for sure. I'm just not sure if there's value on it. The games in Atlanta will let us know. Yeah, they will. They absolutely will. Real quick, let's just look at something real quick. And not that it even matters, honestly, but let's just look at the Knicks real quick. Knicks last couple games where they played in Atlanta. So they won the one back on April the 6th. They won the most recent one, which was 2 days after Christmas. They won that one as well. Didn't cover, but they won that one. Then if we go back to last season, they won as well. So they've won 3 of the last 4. They've won 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 in Atlanta. And I think that the Knicks are better. Atlanta has been better too. Don't get it twisted. But I don't know. We'll see if Karl-Anthony Towns can keep his hands to himself too. Like it's gonna be a big part of it, right? Karl-Anthony Towns can keep his hands to himself. We shall see. 778 says nothing on the Knicks here. Wolves plus 6.5 is the top play. Even without knowing about Anthony Edwards, 77 figures. I'm curious. But yeah, nothing on this game for me either. I guess I lean over. I'm not forcing it though. And I will be making live bets as well. Members, I will be making live bets. I'm locked in at the crib all day today. I'm not going anywhere today. Basketball probably won't go up until 11, and I'll probably be here all day watching the hoops. PG says, Knicks love, Knicks loyalty. Shout out to you, my guy, Chris. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. I like Evan Mobley to get 20 today. He knows ball. Says, damn, Chris, I got to lock back in. Hope you're well. We're going to miss them Davion Mitchell and Andrew Nembhard's over for the last year. Knicks smash game 1. I kind of think they do too, man. But I'm not going to bet it. I think I'm going to stay away from it. All right, let's go to the last one. We'll get into a quick recap. This first game is about to come on in about 12 minutes as well. All right, so we got – this is update too. Okay. All right, so we got my Lakers and the Rockets, and we also have some injury manipulation in this game as well. We know that Luka and Austin Reeves will be out, but Kevin Durant, man, this dude – has the most non-basketball between the lines, injuries of any team, of any player, it feels like ever. Remember last year he was slipping and falling right before the game started, and now it feels like, that kind of same thing has happened again. He's listed as questionable in this game. Something happened at practice or something. I didn't even read all the way into it, but I do know that the way that the total is going, it kind of makes me think that he's going to play. This was at 207.5, and now it's going up to 20. I see it as high as 209. And then the spread down to 4.5 on some books. It looks like 5 is consensus. This opened with the Lakers getting 6 on most books. And numbers just come down. Total has gone all the way up. So really just kind of depends on where you saw it at. So how do I feel about this game? Well, initially, let's talk about the series first. So initially, I was of the mindset, diehard Laker fan, of course, you guys know that. Been that way since I probably 2003, 2002, 2001. Yeah, probably 2001. But I was of the mindset that I thought the series was going to be a pretty quick one. I thought the Rockets was going to get my Lakers out of here. I really, really did. In my heart of hearts, I actually even sent out, and I played it too, Rockets series price plus 2.5, minus 2.5 games. Thought the Lakers might win one. I'm of the mindset that Luka and Austin Reeves, even if they do come back, because I think that they potentially will try to come back. They haven't played meaningful basketball in a while now. It's been a couple weeks for Luka. It's been a couple weeks for Austin Reeves. And the Rockets were just thriving at the right time. This was all before I heard about the, maybe injury manipulation. But if you bet the Rockets on the series price, you don't have to really worry about, if they're going to cover these spreads where they're, laying multiple possessions on the road. Then at home, I think they'll, I just kind of feel, I know the Lakers have been playing some pretty good basketball to end the series and in the season and, guarantee home court. I just kind of feel like I like the way the Rockets have been playing, man. I think when I was looking at my spreadsheet earlier, I think it was yesterday, the Rockets were, let me see if I still got it up. The Rockets actually, last 2 weeks of basketball, they were the best team in the NBA. Now, take that with a grain of salt because a lot of teams were resting players and, blah, 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 blah. But the Rockets finished 9-1. They were plus 15.7 in point differential. The second best offensive rated team at a 127.9, offensive efficiency clip. And ever since they put my guy Reed Shepard into the lineup, man, the offense has been playing really, really well. And they haven't really missed a lot as far as like offensive rebounding in basketball. Still number one offensive rebounder, even though you've seen guys like Holiday play more minutes. And I just think this Rockets team is going to be hungry, man. I think that they're going to be super motivated. But then again, like now you got the Kevin Durant thing going on. So I didn't bet the game, the play. If I was going to bet, transitioning to this game specifically, if I was going to bet this game, I think I'd be looking towards the under. Lakers, just real quick. I was looking at teams that are home dogs in game ones because typically you got to be a favorite. So, some kind of injury stuff happened in order for you to be a dog in the first game of the series. And you've been, you're supposed to be a favorite because you earn home court. So only 2 times it's actually happened in the database that I checked. And the home dogs that open as 5 points or bigger. Once in 2020, that was when the Nets beat the Celtics outright as 8.5-point favorites. And then once when the Mavs were hosting the Jazz as 5.5-point favorites and the Jazz lost that game by 6. So I looked at home dogs in game ones of the first round specifically, and those are under games. Only 8 times this happened. The totals are 6-2 to the under, 5 straight unders in that spot as well. And in series ones post-COVID with a total that's below 210 is what I looked at, are 7-4 to the under as well. That's 63%. So I think, let me just double check real quick. I was looking at, from a situational perspective, I was looking at series game equals 1 and home dog PO equals 1. And I just wanted to give you guys so it looks like only 22 times it's happened in the NBA in general. 60% to the under. If in game one the home team is a dog, 13-9 to the under. These games average about 208 points. It looks like if you take out this overtime between the Hawks and the Heat, when was that? Last season? I think that was a play-in game, right? Or was that a playoff game? Let me just make sure I got playoffs on here. Yeah, it's a play-in game. Yeah, if you take that off, then 1, 2, 3 straight unders, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 to the under in the last 11 matchups. I think we see the Lakers play some pretty good defense. They've been playing this pretty slow as well. We know that the Rockets don't want to play super fast. I don't really want to bet against the Lakers in the first game. I think you get their best effort probably early in this game. But I'll go under if I'm betting this game at all as the play that I like the most. Even I'm bucking the system because the total is actually going up. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with it at all. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. I didn't really look too deeply into playoffs in this game as well, and for player props in this game either. What up, Adam? What up, Jacob? Hope all is well, bro. Long time. Dom says he'll go Rockets to score. You think they get to 107? Um, a couple that stood out to me, Adam, was Scotty Barnes' boards. I'm not sure if I'll get there today or not, but Scotty Barnes' boards stuck out to me. Jokic points stuck out to me, but I would love to have Anthony Edwards in because then I feel like they need Jokic to score more. I do think that they're going to guard him single coverage. You know, Chris Finch will try to guard him single coverage with Rudy Gobert, and he'll just continue to abuse Rudy Gobert like he always does. I didn't really look into player props in the Atlanta, New York series, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I do see that Knicks going back up to 6.5 now, though. 6.5 on ESPN Bet. Looks like a 6 on South Point, FanDuel up to 6 as well. So Knicks are actually taking some money. Makes sense to me, man. I don't want Atlanta. His Knicks are nothing for me in that game. We'll see if I actually bet it. YFN says, YF Young says, Rockets smash with or without KD. Okay. Adam says, this feels like solid play down, especially with the Lakers' weak defense. Lakers team total under. Brian says, I'm going to take my Lakers plus 4.5. Can't shoot straight Lakers. Defense gets better without Reeves and Luka. So I did have some numbers real quick. I didn't mention these, but Lakers were plus 2.4 this season in overall point differential with those two on the floor. With those two off the floor, Luka and Austin Reeves, they were plus 0.1 in net rating. So about even. Overall, the Lakers went 3-2 straight up and against the number this season with Bron in, Austin Reeves and Luka out. 3-2 to the over under as well. So a little bit more of an over team without those guys. But yeah, I think under is the right play in that game. We shall see though. We shall see. Let's see. Rockets land multiple possessions on the road. No, thank you. I kind of agree with that, Rob. I don't really want that either. What's up, Mark? Hope all is well with you down in Texas. Bron gonna carry him. You know, here's the thing about if you go through and look. Let me just look real quick. So Bron has been hooping, right? But if you go through and look at it, Bron plays much better basketball against teams that don't allow points in the paint. Bron don't play as well when he's playing against a team that, you know, that does a really good job of limiting points in the paint. So real quick, if I go look at it, let's see. Restricted area defense. Okay. So the Rockets ranked 4th on the full season. When Bron played against a team that was in the, let's see. I'm sorry. They ranked 7th. Okay. So when Bron played against teams that were 7th, that were top 10, he actually only averaged 21 points per game. He was only over his points prop at 24.5 in 4 of his 20 games. It's something that we've noticed. We picked this up a long time ago about Bron. 421 games for Bron. And if we add, it's probably not going to be a big sample, but if we add that Luka, he was without Luka under in 3 of those 5 games. If we add that he was without Austin Reeves, he averaged right at 24.5 points. I don't want to bet against Bron, though. I don't. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't want to bet against Bron. Don't want to bet against Bron. Yeah, his rebound's too low, too, for me to bet against. 6.5 feels doable. I'm expecting a big workload from Bron. Playoff Bron. He going to have his hands full for sure, though. Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, KD if he plays. Like, it's a really good rebounding team out there. Bron can't get downhill. It feels like his game changes a little bit. So we'll see. We shall see. What up, Big Mar? Appreciate you for tapping in. Nas Reed 3s for Bryant. The guy says NBA playoffs, WNBA around the corner. What a time to be alive. I feel the same exact way, man. I do have to go through the WNBA and just kind of do my previews of every team. I do got to get that done. Rockets first half, I can see it. Dude says, bless up, Chris. Caught the Lakers at plus 5.5 and took Luke over his 4.5 assists as well. Luke Kennard going to have to play big, man. Him, Marcus Smart, they both going to have to play big. Luke Kennard assists at 4.5. That's interesting. He will get a lot of primary ball handling opportunities with Luka and Austin Reeves out. He averages right at 3 assists, though, without both of them this season. The Rockets one of the better, teams in the NBA as far as giving up assists. They rank number 3 in assists allowed. So they don't give up a ton. 5 is a lot to get to. I hope you cash though, dude. Hope you cash, man. Brian says LeBron assists. 7 figures. His books cleaned up today. Taking all Houston backers bread. Games ones be spooky. The fact Houston not double-digit favorites here is interesting. It is kind of interesting. It should be bigger than that. We'll see if it's a trap or not, though. All right, let's get off of here, man. First game about to tip. I got to get off. Appreciate you for tapping in, or just appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let's go a quick recap real quick. Tell you guys everything that I talked about. So in this first game, it looks like, let me just check and see where the totals are going real quick, where the lines are going in general. In this first game, Toronto, Cleveland, that 222 is still available. I'm gonna go under. Real quick. If I can. Clearly not the best timing. Did it start right at 110? It did. And it's not. Oh, okay. So this wasn't updating on my end. I think that first game goes under though. If we get a big first half, I'll go first game. I'll go under because that's what I wanted in that game anyway. I told you guys that. I do think Toronto. I think they can get steamrolled today. I really, really do, especially without quickly. Under is what I play. If we can get back to the 22.5, of course I'll put live here because I didn't bet it, but that's what I'll play there. I think Denver, Minnesota, and Denver need to wait for Anthony Edwards, but under 232.5, it looks like it's the best number. I play that under. I think if I'm playing the Knicks game, I am taking New York minus the 5.5 if you can still get that. And then this is tripping, but Houston, LA under the 214 and under the 20, looks like 207.5 is the best number. Is what I would play in that game. A lot of ways that can get there. Houston can lock up the Laker defense, not need to score that many points. We saw both unders games yesterday with, two primarily good offensive teams, but, defense really picks up in the playoffs. So I go full game under if I'm betting that game. And that's it. I feel like it was something else though. I'm missing something. We got 2 big injury news implications though. Anthony Edwards and KD. You gotta wait and see what's happening there. So yeah, we shall see, man. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll go through the games for tomorrow as well. I hope you guys cash whatever it is that you play, man. I'm gonna tune into this game ASAP so I can look for some live betting angles since I didn't get a chance to put that first play in. I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Check the resources out. They're all listed in the description of the video. Outlier, Jackson, Money Baller. We'll be back probably a little bit early tomorrow as well. I'm out.